Moving from outer chaos to inner balance, a 28-day immersion. Thank you for joining me on this experience. Hi, I'm Nirmala Shekhar, a Body Talk practitioner from Singapore. We start with week 1, making sense of our own inner chaos and inner strength. And today we are on day 2. Day 2 is about 3 simple tips to encourage and support us. Let me ask you, if you're working as a team, how do you go about ensuring that your team members, or maybe your family members, are able to give their best? If you said encourage, you're right. If you said support, if you said appreciate, you're right. And when we need to encourage, support, and appreciate others so that they can give their best, do we not need to encourage, support, and appreciate us, our own self? So today's first tip is to ensure that we give ourselves the encouragement and the unconditional acceptance that we give others. It is only then that we can shine and be the best we can be while facing this outer chaos. One easy tip to do this is to look at yourself in the mirror and tell that person in the mirror, I love and accept you completely. You are doing the best you can. I support you wholeheartedly. Maybe at first this will seem a little bit uncomfortable, but keep doing that and you will find there is a big difference in the way you perceive things, because there is a newfound confidence at the encouragement that we are giving us. Tip 2 is something that I love. It is something that helps to shift me from this feeling of chaos, or sometimes the head is really uncomfortable, is fuzzy, vague, and is not able to focus. You can try this. It can even shift you from a state of anxiety to a state of calmness. What is this? It is called a Bhramari pranayama, or a Bhramari breath. And it is very simple. We use our hands together. In this environment, please make sure you do wash your hands first. But we use our fingers to cover our eyes, and we use the thumb to put inside the ears. And the trick is to ensure that the thumb is exactly in the right spot, not too in, not too out. It has to be exactly in the right spot so that the resonance within the brain is the maximum. So you need to experiment with it. What we do is we take a deep breath in and then we hum. However, when we put our hands inside this way, the fingers inside, and cover our eyes, the humming resonates inside the brain and shifts the brain from a sympathetic fight and flight mode to a parasympathetic mode where the brain is really calm. For me, if I do this maybe 4 to 5 times, it immediately shifts. My brain shifts, and when the brain shifts, my body shifts. And what I find is that it feels to me like my brain has just had a shower. It's as rejuvenating. So let's try this. I will demonstrate it twice, and you can try it as many times as you want. So we take our fingers, close our eyes, and place the thumb, and then take a deep breath in. Just 2 breaths make a huge difference to the way we feel. And when we are feeling anxious or even just frazzled, this is a wonderful technique to try. Tip 3 is something that we all know, but it's not used as often as we would like to. It is a very simple technique. It's called the hug. And I've been very fortunate to grow up in a family where hugs are given and exchanged. And it is a technique that helps the person who hugs and the person who receives the hug equally. So if you're lucky to be right now in a lockdown, in a family or in a household where there are other people that you can exchange hugs with, wonderful. If you have a pet at home, that's even more wonderful. But for those of us who are all alone at this point, you don't have to miss out on this wonderful technique. Just pick a cushion or a teddy bear, and you can do this. As far as the brain is concerned, there is no difference between something that's imagined and something that's actually happening. The brain shifts equally well. And the power of the hug is in the fact that first, it reduces the cortisol levels. And so it shifts us out of anxiety. And I think all those who have received hugs, we know this. The other benefit of a hug is that when we hug for at least 20 seconds, the brain starts producing oxytocin, which is the feel-good hormone. So you can take a hug for as long as you want and as long as you need. For me, I find that when I'm hugging someone, I just bring them into my hands and just settle into it and wait for that person to detach. So if they need a hug for however long, that's what they get. And meanwhile, what I do is I connect with universal consciousness, universal energy, bring that into me, into my heart, and then share that with the other person so that it is just universal love that I'm sharing with the other person. So give this a try, and I'm just going to show you. You can just take a pillow and then hug. Just close your eyes and relax. If you want to visualize that you're hugging a person, that's perfectly all right. But you don't have to necessarily visualize a person or a pet for this to work. It will work because the brain relaxes into the hug, and so you will get the benefit of the hug regardless of whether there is a person or there is no person. So try these 3 tips and let me know how it goes for you. First, look at the person in the mirror and encourage that person. Let that person know that you love and accept them exactly as they are. Second, try the Bhramari pranayama or the Bhramari breath. And third, a hug. All of these are very simple tips, but they are very powerful. Use them as often as you need through the day. Thank you for joining me on this immersion, 28-day immersion, moving from outer chaos to inner balance. I hope to see you all on day 3.